Thank you very much, Andrei, for these kind words. I would, though, like to say that Mr. Gref is the one who really inspires this fantastic conference, the AI journey. I see that the agenda is growing. Everything we discuss here will be put in data sets that will be used to train the model. So please make sure you are responsible in what you're saying. Anyway, 190 countries, 150 million views. So please make sure that you share the information about us and about our conference and about our shared values. And I do thank Sber for this opportunity and for organizing this venue that helps to enlarge our network. Yesterday, there was a very important event that happened that made publicly available. Yesterday, the International Alliance on AI was convened with the participation of the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and it was visited by the representatives of 15 countries. Very high-level officials from these countries were present, and some of them are present here today. Thank you very much for your involvement and your commitment, because I am confident that AI, as any creation, should have a cross-border nature. We should be able to communicate and to discuss things openly without any politics, because we have to take every opportunity to improve the lives of the people and our constituents for the better. Now, it's Friday 13th, but I don't think there's any superstitions here. Superstitions are for some other people that do not discuss science. Mr. Gref, as he always said, that if you try to tackle a challenge, you have to make a as-is review of the current situation and to assess the situation, to make sure that you are mindful in terms of trying to understand the result that you're trying to achieve. We see that the AI race is becoming more and more acute. AI is the main technology of the 21st century, this buzz phrase that we've heard everywhere. Why? Because AI is disrupting the financial sector. AR and VR is disrupting the in entertainment business. AI is disrupting all the areas. It's hard to think about a sector where AI does not disrupt, going from agriculture, mining, education, healthcare, and many other sectors. If you can think up an industry where AI is not applicable, please raise your hand and tell me, because I wasn't able to think about that. Our neural networks will deliver fantastic results. In the first day of AI journey, the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, puts a very high ambition for Russia to become a world leader, not only in terms of developing AI, but applying AI solutions in all areas of our lives. And we understand that the use of AI, and the President mentioned that, it's very important that he highlighted this feature of AI from this large volume of information that he had to absorb during this conference. And he said that the use of AI, the AI applications, will give the citizens of Russia the opportunity to understand why this or that solution was taken. These solutions, the decisions by decision makers have to be transparent and understandable, interpretable. It's very important that the AI applications will have this functionality, and obviously processing applications and questions for the final Q&A session with the President. Applications are now processed by GigaChat, and it helps to crystallize the tasks, the concrete tasks for the dedicated ministries, specialized ministries, and the government of Russia. So that's a real use application, because obviously no amount of specialists and operators will be able to categorize all the questions and applications manually. And it's very hard, would be very hard for them to understand what is the top priority for the population and what the authorities should focus on. I think that this approach will radically change the efficiency, including the efficiency of the governance and the speed for responding to the needs of our people. Another important area, when you try to start a program, you want to launch a program, you have to analyze the best practices. And in AI industry, there are leaders like giant companies. NVIDIA controls from 75 to 90% of the advanced chips for the AI. And we've seen that in the last 5 years, the growth of NVIDIA was around 1,000%. X24 all are trying. OpenAI is one of the leaders as well. We see new products, Lesoro. Everyone is trying to challenge this leader. Now, Lesoro published the tools for video generation. Now the competition is becoming harsher. The Huawei hardware is being used more actively, and the alternative computational tools are being introduced, and these are the open source model as well as the commercial models. It closes the gap between them and the leaders. To close this gap, you need a lot of investments, and investors already show impatience because they want to have an ROI, especially if you're talking about the initial stage investors, but you have to continue to invest. The Chinese companies are challenging these leaders because China is one of the leading tech communities in the world, and Minotech Kuli on collective forecast closed meeting in October this year said that there are alternative approaches in terms of improving the availability and accessibility of the AI solutions to the people, making the models cheaper and smaller by changing the data structure, moving to expert models from general models that will be dedicated to some industries and professions. The national strategy of AI development in Russia that was updated in February this year, and it was approved by the decree of the president, has a number of KPI, and the key indicator is increasing the GDP with AI by 11 trillion rubles by 2030. The overall increase of the GDP with AI might amount to $15 trillion. So that's a huge volume, and we have to take a part of it. And the volume of the Russian LLM market for the businesses is 35 billion rubles. That will be the amount by the end of the year. That's a pretty good head start, and we see that this indicator will grow twofold, according to the analysts, and it might give you an additional 4% of the Russian GDP. The solutions of the leading Russian AI companies like GigaChat Max or Kandinsky, Fronsberg, or Yandex GPT for working with text and multimodal Yandex Art solution are world-renowned and recognized solutions in terms of the reviews of the developers and in terms of their quality, and they will continue to play a very important role in addressing a major challenge that our country is facing right now, and this is the lack of talent. This is especially important because in October in Russia the unemployment went to record low 2.3%. These are the data of our Russian Statistic Agency, And in Russia, we focus not on replacing humans with AI, but we're focused on improving the productivity and performance of every Russian worker. In the future, every Russian citizen, and I'm confident that this future will arrive sooner than many of you think, should have their own squad of AI agents that improve their performance and productivity and helps in everyday life. I am actually creating my own personal squad of AI assistants, and even if you work in the government, you can do that. Obviously, I'm talking about the trusted segments, the secure solutions, but I know people who are using that every day and in their everyday work, and that improves their productivity. So it is possible, and there are two reasons for that. First of all, historically, Russia had one of the highest level of education, and that includes awareness of all of the advantages and the products that AI offers. And we are one of the top 5 countries in terms of the number of countries with the largest share of educated population. Higher education, I'm talking about that. More than half of the people know about AI and its capabilities. Every 4th citizen is using generative AI, and every second, meaning 50%, are using Russian AI solutions. A second reason are the readiness and the commitment of the authorities to implementing AI. I would say that no country in the world has the president who knows that much about AI. He knows all the details. We see that Vladimir Putin is very engaged in the topic and knows about the details, and we provide a report after every AI journey with KPIs and goals and tasks and a specific roadmap, and you have to meet these tasks, you have to deliver on them, and this encourages us to work very hard. Russia is investing a lot in AI development. I would talk about the common and unified AI research program. I mean, when all understand that AI has become an integral part of science, because I mean, in the government, I supervise everything that is related to the civil research and civil sciences. I supervise the development program that unites all the investments in science, and this is a major investment in AI, increasing helping to intensify and support our scientists, and we're going to step up the efforts there. In the next several years, we're going to increase the AI investments in AI research. According to the order of, to the decree of the president, the government has a number of tasks. First of all, 5% of the state budget for the science is going to be sent to finance AI research. Secondly, 15% of the all state expenses for science are planned to be directed to the research in other areas, but these research efforts will have to be AI-driven, 15%.
And now let's remember the goal set by the president by 2030 to increase investment in science and research up to 2% of the GDP. Look at the forecast of the Ministry of Economic Development by 2030. Take 2% of it, and then 15% of that. You will get roughly 650 billion rubles allocated to science and research with the use of AI technology. This is a very ambitious goal, and scientists across the globe, I think, should keep that in mind, because if we're going into this must have a really good purpose. We are currently building a joint program for research in AI with key domains and research objectives for the nearest future. There are 10 fundamental domains with 37 subdomains and 127 research objectives. This is a great academic undertaking, and the Ministry of Economic Development, the government, and the entire academic community were working really hard throughout last year to identify these priority scientific tasks. As I said, 15% of all funding will be allocated to achieving those objectives. In the first months of evolution in Gen AI, we learned that AI can rewrite technological processes in all areas. It helps us analyze big arrays of scientific data faster and generate scientific hypotheses faster, but more importantly, it essentially broadens the horizons of the possible, and it helps us model processes which we could not model before. For example, processes in distant galaxies or on the molecular level. Obviously, AI is already an integral part of science, and Andrea already said that 2 Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry went this year to the founders of this revolution in AI, specifically for creating AI-based models that predict the structure of proteins. Mr. Grev has recently said that 80% of all scientific breakthroughs across the globe are done with the use of AI technology. And clearly, Russian scientists are also contributing to the successful innovation in that area, for example, using AI technology to develop drugs and medications, or to forecast different natural events. ITMO, MIPT, Innopolis, MSU, the Blochin University, and many other major centers of competence. Artificial intelligence is not only broadening the realm of the possible, as I said, but it also significantly reduces the cycle, the time from fundamental to applied research. According to the estimates of various researchers, in material studies, the number of patents went up in a year by 39%, and the number of innovations in products increased 17%. Those are significant figures. It is no wonder that artificial intelligence has intensified collaboration between business and science, not only when it comes to co-financing of research, but also in relation to this interesting and fair trend. We are observing the hourglass turning upside down, so to speak. Erstwhile, it used to be 30% of investment in science and the rest in business, but now the extra budgetary investment of the Russian business into science is going to exceed federal investment. So it's not only in terms of co-financing, but also in terms of data exchange and competence exchange in AI modeling, piloting in real time and in an actual environment. Our universities are opening access to their latest innovations, their latest models, and organizing multidisciplinary campuses. Yet another function of science is science can become a sort of an arbiter, a tertiary judge for different models and objects, showing accuracy and precision based on experiments. In the context of intensifying competition in science and research, it's very important to make sure that AI is free from bias, from political bias in particular, and to make sure it is open to all kinds of hypotheses, even if they are not mainstream. As the President said, it is important to create a sovereign AI, important for science primarily. we need to build our own Russian datasets or datasets in the countries that share our values. It's important to make sure that AI knows our Russian school of thought, not only along the frontiers of our scientific and research development, but also along all academic lines, in all academic areas. Which is why, right now, together with Sber and Yandex, we are working to make sure that all the digitized research labs and research centers, which are currently part of the science and technology domain, be used for training our models. So that when we propose scientific hypotheses, artificial intelligence would base decision-making on our data. Furthermore, if AI is trained only on foreign data, it may even be dangerous because it is not wary of the Russian context. Because it might so happen that at a critical point in time, there is some critical hallucination, or it mixes up dimensions or engineering standards and makes a wrong decision. Not to mention the ethics and worldviews. The creation by business of datasets for science and research is an evident win-win for everyone. A good example, one of the examples, is the pharmaceutical industry, a societally important area. Many companies across the globe are venturing into it, and the president has also said that access to high-quality drugs and medications is extremely important. Students could help science and business with data labeling, and business will also get native talent, native personnel with AI skills, with the ability to use AI in different cases. 5% of financing, as I said, will be allocated to develop fundamental domains in AI, as determined by the academic community. This list, as I said, is built during the foresight in science. We presented it in the spring of 2024. And to make sure we are abreast with any changes, we will be organizing these foresight sessions regularly. This will allow us to prioritize academic objectives as part of the national program. We have already built this foresight set for 10 fundamental domains with applied domains defined separately. I don't know if you can read them on the slide. I won't go into detail there, but nevertheless, the outcome helped us formulate these scientific objectives for today. We need to speed up the creation of more accessible, less expensive alternatives to GPU by NVIDIA, including high-speed networks for data exchange between microprocessors. We must create assistants of a new generation that are capable of self-reflection and self-criticism. We also need to work on fundamental models for different industries and areas, new models, new economic models that factor in the staff deficit in various professions. So AI must transition from being a black box to something that is explainable and interpretable, to avoid a situation where AI is abused as a tool for manipulation. And our long-term mission is to cultivate national champions across all of these 10 priority domains. And right now, dear colleagues, I suggest we participate in this interactive exercise. I would like the organizers to show the QR code, which you can scan with your phones. The analysts have placed these 10 domains on the hype curve Could you put that back on screen, please? So if you scan the QR code, thank you for showing it on a separate screen, by the way. So we have two questions for you. Which technologies do you think will be the most beneficial in the next year? You can select 3 out of the 10 we suggested. We will give you 15 or 20 seconds to vote. Please let me know how the voting is going. If you're watching us online, you can also join in. Please make sure those watching the webcast can also scan the QR code and participate. Thank you very much. Hopefully we were able to hold this voting with no technical issues. And now the second question. In which technology do you think we have the biggest number of scientific problems that haven't been solved yet? Once again, please select 3 out of 10. I would like to ask the organizers to create this overlap between the slide with the hype curve and the slide with the voting results. I'm really curious to see how the audience voted and whether their position coincides with that of the experts. And now let's talk about the International AI Foresight session. We are broadening horizons, so thanks to Sber support, we were able to welcome new members to the International AI Alliance, primarily the BRICS countries. By 2025, we are planning to launch an international scientific foresight to work out joint academic priorities together with our AI partners over the globe. We also want to create a mechanism for selecting the most relevant and the most labor-intensive and resource-intensive research in AI. Clearly, the joint efforts of multiple nations towards the solution of AI-related problems will significantly accelerate technological and scientific progress. A good example, a good case illustrating it is our LLM that we are developing. For mathematics, we are leading across the world in that regard, and China simultaneously is working on an LLM for the economy. We are looking forward to see how it turns out. We invite all of the BRICS countries and the whole international community, anyone who's ready to contribute to these efforts. I know that today we will hear a lot of presentations by renowned scientists with a citation index up to 8. I know that Svagatam Das is going to participate. Really looking forward to his presentation. It is important to distribute tasks related to AI among ourselves because we all need artificial general intelligence, but not just any AGI, but the one that shares our values. As for the AGI expectations and forecasts, as President Putin said on this stage 2 days ago, our direct responsibility is to participate in the global AGI race as a strong player. Most definitions are similar in that AGI is an AI that is equivalent or exceeds human intelligence in a number of domains and a number of tasks. Thanks to the capability to analyze big arrays of data and promptly adapt to the new environment. And by the way, AGI can be trained on a small data set. So all that will help us tackle global problems, global challenges. And Primarily, since we are talking about science, it will help us tackle complex scientific problems. It will also significantly increase the launch of new products and technology. As for the forecasts, as I mentioned, forecasts are different. According to High Cycle Gartner, we have roughly 10 years till we achieve AGI. I know that Elon Musk thinks that by the end of 2025, as early as 2025, we will see AGI exceed human capabilities. One of our leading researchers, Ivana Selidis, who's here in the audience, gave his own forecast this summer. 3 years is his estimate. In any case, we see that we are talking about the observable future, and Russia must make sure that it remains in this global race, remains a leader in that regard. The staff deficit is an extremely poignant problem in this regard. We have been focusing and emphasizing the cultivation of talents from the school level, not just university level, and we have already published textbooks, AI textbooks for secondary school from grades 5 to 9. It is currently undergoing expert assessment, and hopefully very soon it will be mandatory in secondary schools. Our school children are very successful at international Olympiads and competitions. In August this year, they received an award at an international Olympiad in AI. We have had roughly 50,000 participants at the latest AI hackathon, and these efforts are consistent and ongoing. We have multiple institutes and universities offering programs, including master's degree programs in AI. This year, we launched 86 new master's degree programs in AI and 36 new bachelor's degree programs in AI. We have also created a university rating in terms of their ability to prepare graduates with AI skills. 280 universities participate in this rating from all across Russia. This is obviously a complex system, a holistic system for cultivating talent in AI. As mandated by the president, according to the objectives set by the president after one of the AIJ conferences, a benchmark program was created for the managers and executives from companies and government agencies. And this is extremely important because it helps raise the level of expertise among those who make managerial decisions in companies and in government. The digital transformation of the state program helps us launch new programs for universities to prepare more specialists and to create new educational trajectories. So we are going to involve major universities through the grant support mechanisms. In the next few years, prompt engineering and the AI skills will become native skills to people, even though some are saying that prompt engineering, as networks are developing, will cease to become a mandatory skill. But we do realize that without the native skills in that regard, it is impossible to gain a competitive edge for people in Russia.
So we are preparing for that. Anyone who wants to get new knowledge, wherever they are, should have equal access to these knowledge, and our president mentioned that as well. It is especially important for low-income households, especially those who cannot afford the tutors. So these online courses that our leading companies are developing should be accessible, because AI can be a 24/7 mentor for free no breaks and no weekends. And we know that the majority of students and teachers and alike, the number of teachers, by the way, the percentage of teachers using, the share of teachers using AI is larger than the share of students. So they use AI, but they do not know a lot about this technology. So another important challenge for us is to know how to properly use AI with a better effect while minimizing the risks for any potential damage. Russia is one of the leading countries in science and AI. We are in the far front of the development and research. We have good fundamental foundations. Many AI solutions and theories were created by Russian scientists. The theory of chains of Markov, or Lyapunov theory, or of Kolmogorov formulas. In the last several years, our researchers published more than 440 scientific publications in AI on international conferences on with A asterisk level. From 2021 to 2024. Moreover, we have created a monitoring system for the publications with the Russian affiliates in the index journals. We have 4,500 articles there, and the depth of the archive is 5 to 10 years. AIJ experts and T-Bank Lab together developed the first model for contextual learning. It can already learn new things based on just a couple of examples. Another case, researchers from ITMO University created the first in the world platform for nanoparticle screening that would help to fight the infections in agriculture and healthcare. Limitless opportunities for new discoveries and new technologies are there. The researchers are getting passionate about finding new solutions, and now being a scientist in Russia is coupled with great prestige. Two-thirds of parents want their children to work in science and build their career in science, and to ensure technological sovereignty of Russia. It is of critical importance to have a solid scientific base. From 2023, the Russian AI research centers are supported by the state, and we have 12 dedicated centers that work on trusted, ethical, industry-specific, and AGI, artificial intelligence, and AGI. More than 170 IP-protected papers were published. Many publications were made. They developed 16 frameworks, and more than 40 industrial partners are working together with them that help them to roll out these large-scale projects. During the operations, there were a number of applications that were developed by these centers. There were voice assistants, healthcare assistants, and assistance for decision makers. And for example, in ITMO Lab developed a framework for machine automatic ML, FEDOT Industrial. It helps to increase the speed of the training of industrial models by a couple of dozens of times. Another lab created a robot for typical tasks in dark stores and storage facilities. It can go about the storage facility autonomously. Another case from the Lobachevsky University Research Center. They created a portable electrocardio device with a 95% accuracy of the diagnosis. I would now like to announce the third level of selection of the research centers. There were 2 of them. At the end of this year, the 3-year cycle of the work of the 6 research centers of the first wave will complete. So the flagship research centers will again be selected. We are focusing on AGI development, and the most important criteria for selection would be the meeting of these 10 areas of the foresight, having the industrial partnership, specific results, and having a scientific base. And also the government is going to support the AGI development programs. According to the information from the Ministry of Economic Development and Maxim Kolesnik, an assistant to the President of Russia, the project has already been developed. So the project will be launched just after the new year in the first quarter, and the winner is going to be selected by our Commission on the Scientific and Technical Development. So the strongest one will win. Before I go to the end of my report, let's look at the interactive part and voting results. We've summarized all of the responses, and this is what we have. That's the picture that we have. Okay. So 10 areas of foresight were evaluated. Top 3 is technology and architecture, and the algorithms of ML, optimization of mathematics. Second, data for AI. Third, fundamental and generative models. These are the answers to the question, what technologies will leverage the maximum? Question 2, what technologies have a lot of scientific tasks that have not been resolved? It's security, trust, and interpretability, elements of AGI, and social, humanitarian, and economic aspects. We see that we have experts in the hall because they have the same opinion as the opinion of the Commission. AGI and agent systems, these are the priority areas. New compute areas, not many people believe in that. That shouldn't be so. Yesterday at Bauman University, we looked at the system of graph, a couple of trillion of connections there. The interaction between humans and machines should be improved, and a lot of things have to be done before we achieve AGI. We're going to focus on that on our international foresight that we're going to organize soon. Colleagues, I would like to tell you what is a sapphire. Maybe you know what it is. Maybe you think about this jewelry, and maybe you can make a reference to that. But we have to consolidate the work of the scientific communities and the business and government communities. We're going to launch a delivery office. It's called Sapphire. This is a strategic agent for support and formation of the AI and related developments. It's going to be created based on Skolkovo. This is an abbreviation from the Russian words. It was developed, by the way, with Yandex GPT. So if you don't like that, Alexander is the one to send the complaints to. We like it though. Sapphire, that's a good name. Memorable, you can remember that easily. If there is a platform that can make an interface for the connection between the authorities and the business community and scientific communities, it is going to be Sapphire. This solution is going to help administrate the third wave. Tatiana Sayuznova became the head of this foundation. Tatiana, a round of applause. The deputy head of the Skolkovo Fund for support, Tatiana Sayuznova. That was the voice of God. Wow. So Sapphire is going to be led by this fantastic woman who is a great expert, and I give you the floor. I'm going to become a viewer again, and please share your plans. Thank you.